Hi everyone, welcome to another market forecast for the week ending April 30th, 2021. My name is Justin Bennett with Daily Price Action, and in today's forecast, we're going to take a look at the euro, the pound, the dollar yen, the Australian dollar, as well as Bitcoin. The US dollar has started to weaken again, so we'll take a look and see if that's likely to continue, and we'll also review Bitcoin's latest correction, and I'll show you some key levels that I'm watching for in the cryptocurrency market. Alright, so let's get to it right now. A quick disclaimer that today's video is for educational purposes only. All views are my opinion and are not intended as investment advice. Forex is a high reward, high risk business, and you should not trade with borrowed money or money you cannot afford to lose. See the description of this video for the full disclaimer. So first up we have the Euro USD, and I mentioned this recent breakout from a trend line off of this high recently, and the pair has seen some nice follow through since that break. I've also talked about this area right around 120 recently, and you can see where so far this area is acting as support. So going forward, 120 is going to be support, and today the pair is coming into some resistance right around the 121 area. All right, that's the trend line off of this local high. So it is going to take a daily close above the 121 region in order to expose the 121.80 level. Notice how 121.80 was resistance back here, and it's also going to take a daily close above that in order to expose that 123.50 region. Now, if we do see the Euro USD rotate lower from this trend line and take out the 120 level on a daily closing basis, that could send the pair down toward some of these recent lows and perhaps even that 117 support area. So right now for the next few days, it really depends on what happens between 120 support and this 121 resistance area. A daily close above 121 takes on 121.80 and perhaps 123.50, whereas a daily close below 120 would expose some of the recent lows between 118 and 119, and perhaps even the 117 support area. Next up we have the pound, and you can see where it broke out from a descending channel recently. So I talked about this candle right here, how it marginally closed above that channel, and of course the next session did follow through. However, we saw a retest of 140 last week. So I wrote a post about this when it was testing 140, and you can see how this level has been significant in the past, and sure enough, that triggered a rotation lower. Now going forward this week, the top of this channel is going to be support. Now this area could be as low as 137.50. So if we do see a rotation lower over the next few days, keep an eye on that 137.50 area. As long as the pound is above that, I do like the idea of a move higher back toward 140. It's going to take a daily close above that to expose the 142.50 level. Alternatively, if we see the pound move lower and take out this area on a daily closing basis, that would re-expose 136.70 with a close below that taking on 134.50. So those are the key levels I'm keeping an eye on for now. Just keep in mind that as long as the pound is above that May 2020 trend line, you have to respect the potential for a move higher. But if we do see a daily close below that 137.50 level, that could send the pair much lower, perhaps down toward 134.50 over the coming days. I've talked about the dollar yen a couple times recently and how this 108 area is significant for the pair. So you can see where we have this trend line off of some of these recent lows, and this level intersects right with that 108 area. So the idea was that if we got a daily close below, let's say 107.70, that would expose 106.60. That was going to be the next key support if we did get a breakdown here. But as you can see so far, the dollar yen is holding above this level on a daily closing basis. So if we do see the pair break out of this and move higher, we could very well see a retest of this 111 resistance area. Now, if we take a look at the intraday timeframes, you can see where we could have a trend line off of some of these recent highs. All right, so if we draw a level off of this recent high up here and connect it with this one, all right, so we started up here at this high, it nearly touches the one up here, and you can see where right now the dollar yen is testing that level. So if we do see the intraday time frame break above this level and respect it as new support, that could be the trigger for that next push higher. Alternatively, again, a daily close below 107.70 could send the dollar yen lower toward 106.60. But as of right now, again, the pair is holding above 107.70 on a daily closing basis. And so for that reason alone, I do have to respect the potential for a move higher. And a close above this trend line, again, could be the trigger for that next move higher. For the last few days, the Australian dollar has been trading between these two levels. So you can see where we have two placements of the trend lines from this low. The first one extends from the lower wicks and the other right from the daily close. You can see where this bottom level served as resistance through here, and it then flipped to support. And also this upper level served as resistance over the last couple of weeks. Now, so far today, the Australian dollar is breaking above that top level. However, it's also finding some resistance right around that 78.20 level. Notice how significant this area has been in 2021. All right, so it's going to take a daily close above 78.20 to expose that 80 handle. All right, that was the resistance level up here. Whereas if we do see a daily close back below this trend line, it would put the pair right back in the middle of this channel with support coming in right around 77. Now, all of that said, it did look like before we had a head and shoulders pattern based on the left shoulder back here, a head and a right shoulder. So far, that pattern has broken down and the pair is also just sideways. So right now it's a little bit difficult to trade. And if anything, if you are bullish on the Australian dollar, it makes sense to wait for a daily close above the 78.20 area first before looking for a long opportunity. Alternatively, if you are bearish, I would personally wait for a close below this trend line. Just keep in mind that the pair has gotten really choppy recently, so I do think that there are better opportunities out there. So we saw a relatively large correction from Bitcoin recently after testing that $65,000 area. All right, so this was the local high back here at 65 or just below it. And I was actually tweeting about this chart saying that I didn't like the look of the price action so far in 2021 back when it was trading above $60,000. So I tweeted that out right through here. And I said I didn't like the way the chart looked over the last few months simply because it was losing momentum. So you can see back here that the pair failed to test the top of this trend line here, and it did so again off of this level. So notice how Bitcoin never did test the top of this trend line. And that did signal some weakness because it showed an inability to retest the top of these trend lines. All right, so it was essentially like a rounded top up here. And we did get a correction lower about 28% so far, including this big 15% drop on a Sunday. Now, there has been some technical damage done since that drop. You can see where it broke below the December trend line. This one right here, it broke below this right around $60,000. Okay, so on this candle right here, that's what triggered this big move lower. Now, that Sunday drop actually bounced right from another trend line that extends from October of last year. All right, so this is a much bigger trend line, and you can see where we have several touch points off of this level, including that Sunday low. So now that Bitcoin has closed a day and even a week below that area, I have to respect this area as resistance right between 54,000 and 55,000. It's going to take a daily close above this area in order to re-expose the $60,000 level, which served as resistance back here. Now, alternatively, if we do see Bitcoin rotate lower over the coming sessions, do keep an eye on 51,300. All right, so this is going to be a support level on the way down if we do see a rotation lower. All right, so a daily close below 51,300 could signal another run at this low right around 47,000. And if that were to break, look toward the $42,000 to $43,000 support area. But again, as I mentioned, if we do see a daily close above this October trend line, that could re-expose 60,000 and even that $65,000 area. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, leave your comment below, and be sure to subscribe to my channel. See you next time.